Hi everyone, I'm going to share with you my way of architecturing this course to make it more meaningful. And so starting in week 3, we start to really begin to get more intentional about our practice. And the way I've designed this is that we're going to use this 4-week um, reflective teaching process in this class to really get at opportunities to deepen our practice. So no matter where you are in terms of meeting the learning targets for this class, or the learning outcomes for this class, no matter how much experience you've had before or to none is fine, because there's always going to be something that you can deepen, even if you're really experienced in this area or if it's new for you. So here's how this is going to go from here on out. First of all, it is a 4-week cycle. So if you see here on the left column, I've got every week for the semester. We have a 15-week semester. And then I have the overarching learning targets that we're really going to start digging into, from positive emotional climate and behavior support, to supporting children's language and communication, to supporting children's thinking, effectively informing children, and then adapting for differences. And each of these topics or these learning targets have a set of more refined criteria that I'm going to be asking you to practice. And so here's how the cycle goes. Again, it's a 4-week cycle, and you can see that here in each column. So beginning week 3, we're starting with this positive emotional climate and behavior support with a tutorial and an opportunity to make an intention or a plan for practice for next week. So the tutorial happens in GoReact in our new video platform for this class, and you're going to see a screenshot video from me. So this is my content I'm delivering to you. It's like what we might introduce to you in a face-to-face class. You get an opportunity, because it's in GoReact, to make personalized comments on it while you watch. So I do have prompts in there for you to answer as you watch. And the reason that I've got these sort of these 4-week cycles staggered the way they are is so that in the weeks that are grayed out are weeks when I expect you to have a little bit more time to spend in either GoReact or D2L those weeks. And the other weeks are not. Those are things that you're doing in your practicum, because I'm trying to really keep it down to an hour of interactions in class time here, and then the rest of the time really devoting to things you're doing in the fieldwork experience in your practicum. Okay, so your tutorial plans will always be usually less than an hour, because we need that. Sometimes they will be 15 minutes, or they will be chunked into multiple smaller videos, but each week, each topic, each learning target has its own set of tutorials or a tutorial video. In the case for this week, it's a longer one video. You're welcome to pause and come back to that and comment on things, but try to get through the whole thing. So look at the timestamp on those so that you can set aside enough time to complete those tutorials effectively. And then I do have a handout when I introduce these learning targets each week that you can print and you can download and take with you, and there's a place to write a plan. This is just it doesn't have to be a really complicated thing. It can be just as simple as something like, for this week, one of our interactions with children that we can do to really promote that positive climate is simply to have a positive affect, emotional affect with them. So if they smile at us, we smile back. We mirror back that affect to them. So smiling and laughing with children is a very simple thing to do. There may be some kids in your classroom that are harder for you to connect with and to have that positive emotional relationship with. And so a very simple goal might be, for this child here, I'm going to make sure I am providing that kind of emotional response, that positive emotional and supportive response to that particular child. It can be as simple as that for your plan. Then the next week, so starting in week 4 in this case, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and put that goal into practice. And you're going to just go in with intention. And I have found in my own practice that just even having the thought that I want to make a change puts more intention in the moment, even if I haven't written out a plan or anything like that. And it does start to transform my practice and deepen my expertise. So, so just having the intention is enough sometimes. So you're going to have a whole week to kind of embody that intention or that goal that you made. And then in week 5, in this cycle, or the 3rd week of the 4-week cycle, you will record yourself with children interacting, and then you will post that into GoReact, and I will ask you to comment on your own recordings. And then CORE stands for C-O-R-P, stands for Community of Reflective Practice. And that's what I'm really trying to build here for you in week 4, is an opportunity for us to get together and look at our videos with each other and to provide some support and encouragement and probing questions, maybe challenge people to try something new. So really looking for responses there that are honest, that are helpful and kind and encouraging, but also maybe challenge us to get better, right? Maybe we have tried something in the past that's been a success, and we can give kind of a pro tip about that to another student. And as a student, we can receive this kind of feedback from our peers. And so, so this cycle is really intended to be getting you in the practice of modeling, becoming really fluent with this as how your everyday goes. There's always going to be something to reflect on. There's always going to be something more to learn about. Teaching never, you never perfect it. I certainly haven't, and it just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, as you can see, the 4-week cycle is alternated by 2 weeks for every learning target here. So in week 5, for example, when you're going to be recording and uploading your video, you're going to be focused on that part in your practicum, but you're also going to be completing the tutorial in GoReact on supporting children's language and communication, and it goes on and on and on throughout the course. Weeks 14 and 15 give us a little chance to wrap things up and do some more reflective writing and thinking and talking in general about the whole trajectory throughout this course. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about what this reflective teaching cycle means, at least to me, in terms of how I'm very intentionally structuring this for you so that you have time. If I were to shove all this into 1 week, you would not have time to really deepen your practice the way I want to see, and I'm hoping will happen here. So thank you for taking the opportunity to be vulnerable in these moments where we're putting ourselves and our interactions in all of their imperfection, because it will be imperfect. There will be no video that you submit where you're like, oh yeah, that was just like a model thing that you want, you know, to have in a documentary about teaching early childhood. It's going to be rough. There's going to be times when kids fall apart on camera or something happens that it is uncomfortable. That's okay. That's part of the learning process here. And so I don't want you spending a lot of time editing your videos and things, but I'll give you more tips for videoing as we get to that point. So this is something I hope helps you build that framework of sort of the process we're going to follow. And just remember to utilize the checklists in the content area of D2L to make sure that you don't miss anything, because this class, remember, is not graded based on completion points or percentages. It really is, how do you demonstrate through the learning experiences that we're actively working toward deepening your practice along these learning targets. Take care, everybody.